This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome aboard. Busy Friday. We're live in Vegas. Circa Resort Casino is the spot. Some really good baseball numbers to look at tonight on the card. Also, Christopher Smith does a great job covering the Boston Red Sox. He'll join the program at the bottom of the hour. We begin the hour by going out to the Progressive guest line as Doug Kezirian joins the program now. DougKezirian.com is the website. DK, thanks for the time today. How are you?
Well, good to be with you guys. Happy Friday. I've been hanging out at Circa a little bit for Bet Bash at night, not getting a whole lot of sleep, but nonetheless, good to be with you guys here.
So we'll talk a little WNBA for tonight, maybe some tomorrow as well. Let's begin here. Was that you're very good at finding spots overall in sports betting, also the WNBA, as we've discussed before. I missed this one on the board last night. I mean, I certainly never would have bet against the Lynx to lose the game outright, but was that a classic look-ahead spot, you think, with the Aces looming tomorrow?
Yeah, and on top of that, they had won 1 million games in a row. So I think it was a little bit of everything. A guy who math models WNBA, I talk to every day in Handicap, he was all about the Sparks. And I said, I just can't get there. They're terrible. I think they're tanking, all that stuff. And once I saw the game unfolding, I did grab plus 11. Of course, I didn't take the nut number, but didn't need it. This game was an 8-point game early in the fourth. So it wasn't like this was a complete egg laid by Minnesota. But the reason it's hard to kind of fade the Lynx is they're just so efficient offensively, right? They don't do dumb things. Everyone's open. They do the pick and pops, open three. So it's really hard. They're not a team where if they mail it in like the Aces, they can just get blown out by 30, because so much of what the Aces do is through Asia Wilson and everything. Just the offensive structure and system kind of usually means avoiding the flat spot for the Lynx. But Cheryl Reeve was dropping F-bombs, everything on the post game, talking about their defense. And yes, the defense was very loose. It lacked intensity, which typically happens in look-ahead spots or flat spots. So the Sparks were able to score, and they hit a lot of big shots. I mean, the Sparks were making shots you just do not see them make, whether it be contested floaters in the lane or just open threes by a lot of players who don't typically bomb. So it was a really good performance out of LA off a bad loss. It was a great situational handicap. Again, I got involved late, very small, but I just couldn't see the Sparks playing that well. But sure enough, they are. The player they got in the trade for Kelsey Plum played really well. It's a little bit of a ball hog, but I think that could be someone to monitor for player props moving forward.
All right, excellent. So around the world tomorrow in the early game against the Aces?
Textbook. And the cherry on top of this is the Aces had the Liberty on Sundays you guys talked about earlier in the show. They really hate the Liberty. There's a rivalry there. The Commissioner's Cup, everything. The Lynx are a team that some teams don't really want to get up for because they're such a pain to guard. Again, I mentioned that offense, the pick and pop. I think this is a smash job. I'd grab the 4.5 now. I'd scalp the money line. I'm going to bet first quarter, first half. I just think the Aces off that massive win and what Cheryl Reeve's doing and everything, I think this is just it's as good of a spot as you want. I don't have Sunday morning's newspaper, but come on. What more do you want? 16-point favorite losing outright. Very good coach, calling out the team. Very talented team that pays attention to detail, all the good stuff, and they're excellent defensively. And then the Aces, who really are kind of a little long in the tooth with Chelsea Gray and Asia Well, and they have the Liberty on deck. They just beat the Fever, which was a revenge spot after getting crushed at home a couple weeks ago. Overtime, dramatic win on the road. What more would we want here for the team with the best record in the league off that kind of a loss at home?
Yep.
Great breakdown.
Sure. Very good. Good card tonight. And let's attack it first with a player prop in the Golden State game, please.
So the Dallas Wings are kind of a hot mess, right? In a lot of ways. They're just a year. It's kind of the classic case. They could be a year away from being a year away, right? And yes, they made some great moves in the offseason. They upgraded the roster, upgraded the coaching staff, but you got to learn how to win. And Paige Beckers, she's awesome. And if Caitlin Clark were putting up the numbers that she has in some games, everyone would be coming after her like they were for Clark earlier in the season. It just takes a lot. It's a long season. You're the focal point of the opposing team's defense, and they play no defense. So it's just a lot to ask. I like the Valkyries here, but I really like Gabby Williams, who's the best player on the Valkyries. I was actually even thinking like she could have an MVP case. Maybe I was going to bet her at like 200-1, but she's the best player on the Valkyries. She scored 25, I believe, the last time these two teams played, the only other time these two teams played. She has ridiculous athleticism. I remember watching a playoff game after an NFL playoff game had ended on a Sunday night at Sportsbook with a bunch of guys. Humans was there, and Humans not the biggest WNBA fan. And he watched her attack the rim and had this ridiculous finish. And he's like, who the heck is that? Like, basically, her athleticism just jumps off the screen, and she can get what she wants against this Dallas defense that has zero interior defense. I mean, they just gave up 30 to Shakira Austin. The Valkyries don't really have a post play, so it's all about open lanes and driving. And I think Gabby Williams will have her way, either driving for layups or she pulls up and elevates, and that's unblockable. So I think that's a really good play, and it's a low point prop at 13.5. So I think you have to play it.
Excellent. I'm on Golden State in this game, plus 1.5, by the way. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you have to, because they're better coach, they're better team, much better defensively. And the Wings, they're off a bad loss and all this, but they're just not as polished as the Lynx are, right? So I was talking about the Lynx tomorrow off a loss and everything, but the Lynx are the number one seed and better team and better everything. The Wings have blown a lot of games and they don't respond because they don't have the right talent. I'm just nervous. I'm very nervous betting against Dallas because they have Arika Gumbawale, who is the most inefficient player in the league for the last 5 years. She's just feast or famine. She chucks, and she could get hot and just make a bunch of miracle shots. I mean, she's kind of like a fringe all-star. She thinks she's way better than she is. They relegated her to kind of like a role player, sometimes off the bench, and she's accepted it, but she hasn't. So I just think they're a team that's sort of disjointed. So just because they're off a bad loss, that doesn't necessarily mean I want to back them, because I don't think they can execute well enough. So that would be my big difference between them and the Lynx, who I'm really an advocate of tomorrow.
Doug Kezirian, our guest on the Progressive Guest Line. Follow the Money, Pauly and Mitch Vies on the Sports Betting Network. I ran this down before you came on. Kelly has made 17 starts against the Dodgers. The Diamondbacks have lost 15 of them. So what do you think here? They've lost 6 in a row. Sasaki $1.70. How do you want to attack the Dodger game tonight, and with a player prop?
Yeah, so Merrill Kelly was actually a guy who pitched really well in July. I was watching him, and he was throwing rocks. He was he'd given up 0, 1, 1, 2 earned in all of his 5 July starts. And then he got rocked in the last game. It's all right, Merrill Kelly's back. Look, we know with the Dodgers, what happened to them in the last week. Yes, they made the trade for Skubal, but they've been getting kind of touched up. They have a big lead in the division. I think the day off's going to help them. Back-to-back sweeps to the Red Sox and then at Chicago. I think they get back on track. They don't like Arizona. It's a rival. They're going to get up for this game. So I think they can get to Kelly with that offense. The offense does have some holes, like Mookie Betts is not hitting. The catcher situation, they have injuries there. I mean, Tucker's not being great. Remember, in these playoff runs, they've needed Rojas and Edman and Kike Hernandez going back. They need those guys to deliver, because even Ohtani's not typical Ohtani's, but he's still very good. But Freeman's really the only great player who's been reliable of late. But you mentioned Sasaki. So there was speculation, and I always like to find these sort of narratives, if you will, because the math guys shape the market. So if you can find something that's different or something that can change, that's where the math guys are vulnerable, much like we were talking about the Lynx Aces game tomorrow. So with this one, in Sasaki, there was speculation that he was tipping his pitches, and that's why he was getting touched up a little bit. He was really bad third time through the lineup as well. So he upgraded the size of his mitt. He's got a goalie glove, Paul. He's a hot goalie like you are, with this mitt on the mound, and it's just ridiculous size. And he's been lights out the last 4 starts. And so there's been betting value on Sasaki with his strikeout props. He had a 9K performance in the recent game. So I would go over his 4.5 Ks. I'd go over his 15.5 outs. Now, 15.5 is 1 out in the 6th. And sometimes the third time through the lineup gets a little troublesome. So I'm a little apprehensive about that. But I like the Dodgers first 5 minus a half. I think that's a big play for me. And Sasaki outs. The bullpen's okay, but I think they're going to let him go. And then the strikeout prop. Again, he's got 9, 7, 7. So now the Diamondbacks as a team, 3rd fewest strikeouts on the season, but they've also tinkered with their lineup. They got Newsbar. I mean, it's a different lineup. Arenado can strike out with anybody. So I think Sasaki lately has been a guy you want to back because of this new sort of pivot mid-season with the hockey glove on the mound.
I like it. That's a good catch by you, and that's one way to be pro Sasaki, anti Kelly at the same time. We have like 90 seconds here. It's not going to be enough time for me to butt heads with you because we're on opposite sides. But you're going to tell people to watch, be careful here with the Lions this season. What's this about?
Yeah. I know you're I'm not on the under, so it's not like I'm totally against it. I was just like, be careful with the Lions. It's a fourth play caller in 4 years for Campbell. He's still a meathead, so he makes these fourth down decisions on the gut, and I'm still apprehensive. I like him as a leader of a locker room in a lot of ways, as sort of the CEO of the team, but I just don't trust him in certain spots. But for me, the key here with the Lions is the last 2 games of the series at Chicago in January and then at Green Bay to wrap up the season, which we never know about week 18 in terms of it matters. But Jared Goff, horrendous in cold weather. I mean, to the point where they played that week 18 game against the Packers with the winner gets the division, goes to play. And they, even a guy like Chris Collinsworth, who flatters everyone, he was like, I don't know what's wrong with Jared Goff. These throws aren't even close. Like, the guy is terrible in cold weather. I think you have to budget like 2 losses in week 17 and 18 because of that. They always get hurt defensively. I just would be careful loading up on them. Now, come playoff time, different story. Maybe they'll have home field and things like that. But I think you really have to kind of anticipate like those 2 losses at the end of the season.
Okay, fair. They'll just be 13-2 going into those 2 games, so that'll be a winner.
That's fine. Again, I'm not betting under.
DougKezirian.com is the website. Thanks for the time today, man. Have a great weekend.
You got it. Thanks for having me, guys, and best of luck to everyone this weekend.
Yeah.
You too.
Baseball next. 2 new handicappers of the network. Each went 4-1 yesterday. Details on that next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, so here's the deal. One of the best handicappers of the network now, going back to like the last month, 4-1 yesterday. They've had 1 or 2 off days like the last week or so, but in general, like 15-11 going back as well. Been hotter than that, going back even more. It's VSiN Volt. Yeah. AI projections that are available that have been really, really good in the baseball season. 4-1 yesterday, like I said. VSiN Jolt was also 4-1 with player props. I will give you a couple of those right now, but if you want to see all of them, follow, tail, read up on it, become a subscriber today at vsin.com/subscribe. A 9.5% edge tonight with VSiN Volt. Mets at Pirates, total runs under 8, -105. They simulated the game 10,000 times. Total came out 7.58. Another one, A's and Red Sox, over 8.5, -103. After 10,000 simulations, combined score of 9.5 runs spit out there. They also have 3 more games on the board tonight. And with VSiN Jolt, I'll give you one. It's Robbie Ray, a 31.9% edge, under 2.5 earned runs, -158.
I could care less. You're going to Guns N' Roses?
You could care.
You got Guns N' Roses tickets in 2 weeks? That's awesome. Well, we're trying to get Duff McKagan in studio.
We're trying like crazy. Yeah.
Stevie Cohen owns them. This is going to be great if we can pull this off.
It was probably my birthday maybe or Christmas last year. Lorraine got me.
Oh, that was the gift?
Lorraine got me tickets.
How were the seats?
I haven't even looked yet. She said they're nice.
All right.
Oh, they're nice. And so she also said, for you and a friend. And then she said, that friend I hope is me.
Yeah.
But she has a family reunion. So I can't make the family reunion, and she's going to go to that, and I'm going to go to Guns N' Roses. We're going to make a day of it. I ran into Sooner Adam.
Okay.
At Naked City the other night.
Mm-hmm.
He's got tickets. He said that he went crazy with the tickets. He watched them with ER in Amsterdam earlier this summer. He said they were so good, I got to go when they're in Vegas.
I don't know. Really?
Yes.
I was shocked when I saw him. This was without... It was just Axel there was Buckethead, and I saw him. I was shocked how good they were. They played. They did Led Zeppelin covers, but it was awesome.
Well, I mean, they
It's
opened up.
one of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs, and now I'm blanking on it. Tool did a cover of it, too. Son of a... Why do I forget this?
You can't. No, you remember this stuff.
You don't know what you're going to get with Axl.
Well,
that's kind of the risk you're running. But
I've also never been to Allegiant Stadium for a show.
Okay.
I don't know what that's going to be like. They can be hit or miss. But I saw them open up where the Golden Knights played back in 2017. It was one of the first. I think that was the first. No. Who's the band from Las Vegas?
Killers?
The Killers. Yeah, they opened it up originally, I believe.
No Quarter was the Led Zeppelin song.
Okay.
They covered No Quarter.
That's how random is that?
I couldn't believe it. I love that song, and they did a great job. And that, Welcome to the Jungle, like third or second song, and then Brownstone.
Yeah, so good. Anyway, they blew my mind.
For you. Yeah.
Live and Let Die, epic live. Anyway, so what do you like tonight? You don't care about the AI stuff on the website. What do you care about?
I got the tickets. It's all about rock and roll, baby. Come on, let's bring it back. Would it kill you to play a little fog hat? I'm going to go sneaky one here.
All right.
Cardinals. Leahy's got an ERA of 1.21 in last 7. Feltner's awful on the road. ERA of 6 and change. Horrible. Going back. St. Louis $1.60.
Yeah, I bet them last night on the overnights.
That's one. Cleveland. And it's not this, they're going to be tired and they got in the middle of the night and demoralizing loss, if you want to attack it that way. It's more of Messick's been awesome and Schultz has been batting practice. Messick, 1 earned run, 1 ERA, last 5 starts. He's been phenomenal. And Schultz, 1-7 with an ERA of 7 in his last 9. I think Cleveland gets right here, cheap $1.30, even though the White Sox are so good.
Well, Pauly,
that's another one, too.
This is no exaggeration. This is a pretty important series, man.
Yes, it is. Big time.
I mean,
and it's also an opportunity for Detroit to gain more ground.
Of course.
Because you got to be loving life if you're Chicago. They have been playing good ball, but you're gaining ground in the standings because of what's going on with Cleveland. They've been a mess. They've lost 11 of 14.
The entire direction of this division can flip based on this series this weekend. I mean, a sweep either way, forget it. Mm-hmm. What we're talking about on Monday is going to be completely different than what we're talking about right now.
And I know I pissed on it earlier, but Robbie Ray, I think, is a good bet with the Padres. 6-0 with an ERA of 1 last 8. But you go back, starters traded at the deadline. 1 win, ERA of 8 combined so far. But he's been so good, and I think they can get the Blanco tonight as the Friars' bats have been hot. And I got to go with Doug, too, with the Dodgers. I can't get away from. This is an unbelievable number that Kelly has 17 starts, and the Diamondbacks have lost 15 of them career. Ohtani and Muncy hitting 400 career against them, and Freeman has a 466 average during this 15-game hitting streak. They've said enough. It's time to get busy living or get busy dying. They have lost 6 in a row. They can't get the 3 seed. They got to start winning some games here because the Brewers are for real, and no one's talking about Atlanta. To your point about right. Atlanta's won 8 in a row and outscored their opponents 43-17. So don't get caught with your pants down here where you can't even get a top 2 seed.
Well, it's rock and roll express time tonight for the Dodgers, right? I mean, this losing streak has to end at some point. You want to martingale this team? You want to bring that up again? So what do you think about DK and how he broke it down and going with Sasaki laying a half a run, -110, -115 in that range in the first 5?
There's something to that. I like the breakdown. There's a lot to that. There's numerous people reporting, the oversized glove and tipping the pitches and everything too. But
could be a big deal.
It's also it's if you're more comfortable, I don't mind. Just go run line because they should unleash hell against Kelly here.
Okay,
this one.
And I'm glad you brought up the Padres game. I do have a bet on this. I'll tell you about that coming up in about 20 minutes in Pocket Plays. It is. I have to tell you, it feels a little fishy. The Astros are a good baseball team. I did not see this coming for the entire year with them. I thought they were going to be bad. They're not. Mm-hmm. But when you look at what Robbie Ray has done this year, the ERA, very good, 3.08. The FIP, okay, 4.36, not great there. But they've been red hot, by the way, the Friars. They have averaged 5.5 runs per game since the All-Star break. Look at, by the way, Jackson Merrill's game log.
Yeah.
He might be worth a pop tonight, hits, runs, and RBI, or the total bases with him. They're getting Blanco. Since coming off the IL, an ERA of 7 and change, 3.1 home runs per 9, 5 walks per 9 as well. He's in awful shape.
Yeah.
Robbie Ray has been really good I asked the question, why are the Padres only $1.10?
Why are the Tigers $1.20? Rat line. Since June, run differential plus 117. Plus 55. Last 8 games. Won 6 consecutive road series. Longest since 88. Can they... This offense can pencil them in for 8 runs again.
I guess so.
We do that with Montero tonight. There's so many good things and incredible streaks going on in baseball. And then to top it all off, and we'll talk to Christopher Smith here in 5 minutes, can the Red Sox make it 27 of 30? Teams to win 27 of 30. The 2017 Guards, Indians, who went 28-2, the 53 Yankees, and the 36 Giants. And this hasn't happened in hockey, baseball, or it was a basketball too, Luke, that incredible tweet, where a team has gone 26-3, but they were 10 games under 500, what they've done. So an historic season, and you throw me anything, I think the best thing is what they did last night. They became the first team in the modern era to score in every inning from the 9th inning on, 5 straight innings to win, to be down in the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and then walk it off. There it is. NHL, MLB, and NBA. 26-plus games in a 29-game stretch. They were 10 games under 500 when it started. Sorry?
I got a series price for you.
Yeah, $3, right?
$4.
Oh, it was $3 at DK. Move?
This is at Caesars now.
I couldn't believe $3. Yeah, right, because you're taking on a team, the worst team going in baseball. They've lost 28 of 33, and it's Perkins, who in his last 8 appearances is 0-4 with an ERA of 7.
Yeah, it's been brutal. By the way, I have a series price on the Tigers and the Giants as well. Everything you talked about with the Tigers, Giants going the other way, and the Tigers are throwing Montero tonight, Job tomorrow, and confirming who is listed right now. Melton against Webb on Sunday. Tigers are $1.30 to win the series.
Boston's $2.95 at DK.
Well, then look you can get plus 310. Wow. Hello, you can get plus 310 on the A's at Caesars.
Mm-hmm. Good find. What'd you say the Detroit number was?
$1.30.
$1.15 at DK.
Melton Webb Sunday.
Yeah. Melton's been great.
Oh, Webb at home, though, during the day.
One more. It's Trout's birthday. 7 career games on his birthday, 5 home runs. 2 total bases or more is plus 135 at DraftKings. Have some fun with that, too.
All right.
Go get him. And how do you not go against the Nats?
Hit 2?
That's another one.
Oh,
okay.
Boy.
The Reds have won 11 of 15, and the Nats have lost 8 of 9. Starters, ERA of 5 and change last 6. Atrocious.
Christopher Smith in the program next with this unbelievable streak the Red Sox are on. Craziest win of the entire season last night. We'll talk to him about this incredible run and team next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Well, Pauly just documented all the numbers. Not often you see anything in baseball like what's going on right now with the Boston Red Sox. First team in MLB, NBA, NHL history to have 26-plus games in a 29-game stretch, winning those. While entering it 10 games below 500, they completely flipped the season around. We go out to the Progressive Guest Line now. Christopher Smith joins the program now, Red Sox reporter for MassLive, who was at the game until the wee hours last night / this morning. Christopher, thanks so much for the time. Best game you've ever attended in person?
Definitely. I was actually here alone. I work with 2 other guys, and I was here alone. So, I knew there was going to be a ton of work. But it's like I kept wanting the game. And, I knew I had to get up early with the kids. I have 2 kids and everything. And I was like, I'm not going to get out of here till really late. But I just wanted to keep going because it was so much fun. There was just so much action and so much, it was just so much fun to watch that I didn't even care that I was going to be, home at 2:40 a.m.
That's when you got in? Okay, so you're dragging ass today. That's okay, my friend. How about, are you here for anything with how this team, with the incredible wins and the record without Crochet, that they could run down Tampa and win this division?
I mean, I think everybody's shocked. I don't think anybody expected this in terms of beat writers. I mean, a lot of us had written about how, they should blow it up. And, they were 14 games under 500. That looked impossible to to make the playoffs at that point. So it's like, I mean, I think that no one was expecting this. And I mean, what we're seeing right now is, history, really. I mean, I covered the 2018 Red Sox, and they won 108 regular season games and best in Red Sox history, but they never had a stretch like this. I mean, this has been something that, it's just incredible.
Absolutely. To furthermore, shouldn't Tracy be the manager of the year then?
Yeah, I think so. Will Venable from the White Sox is going to get consideration, and but it's pretty incredible what he's done. Like, and it's not all him, obviously. Some of the personnel has changed, like throughout this year. They've been able to put the ball in play more because they've, guys that strike out a lot, like Trevor Story, got hurt. And some guys came up from the minors that, put the ball in play and they become a better offense. So, there's multi-factors to this. But just the way that he's kind of kept everything going and his calmness and the way that he deals with everything, he definitely deserves Manager of the Year consideration. He should be in the top two.
No question.
Yes.
Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We're talking Red Sox baseball. Christopher Smith, our guest. Follow him on X at Smitty, on MLB, Red Sox reporter for MassLive. So you mentioned that 14 games under 500. They're seemingly never going to lose another baseball game. What's the best possible explanation that you have come up with for the turnaround?
Yeah, I think it just basically has to do with, like, they've always been a good pitching team, right? Like, I think they had like the 9th best ERA in baseball until June 24th when they started, or June 25th when they started turning it around. And much of that, being 9th was because Brian Bayo was terrible. I mean, they were way better than 9th. Like, if he hadn't been on the staff, they would have been way better than 9th. And so, like, they've always had the pitching. And finally, the hitting came through. Like, an ability to put the ball in play. Like, there was a game that they had 4 runs in an inning where they didn't even get a hit. And when you put you put pressure on teams, Alex Cora, the former manager, used to always say, good things happen when you put the ball in play. And they have failed to do that for a couple of years now. Like, they've struck out a lot with runners at third base and fewer than 2 outs. And this year they've been able to find that during this stretch. Now, I think they're also, though, starting to hit for power too. Like, that shouldn't go overlooked. Like, everybody talks about the small ball Red Sox, and that's what's gotten them back in this thing. They're hitting a ton of home runs over the last couple of weeks, though. So their offense, in general, is not it's not just small ball. It's they're hitting.
So then let's fast forward to October here for a minute. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but assuming they make the playoffs and this run, not to this level continues, but they get in, like what's the weakness for the team come a playoff series of either 5 or 7 games against another playoff team?
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously going to face elite pitching, throughout the postseason. Every postseason, there's few runs, right? Like, games are very tight and runs are hard to come by. So, we'll see about the offense at that point. They are getting Adley Rutschman here they traded for him and they'll get him back from an injury. He'll help the lineup. Roman Anthony should help the lineup. He did some hitting off of a machine today. So he's like, I think he's getting fairly close. They don't want to say he's getting close because, there could be a setback or whatnot, but like, that comes up and they don't just want to, say like he's going to be back, but I think he's getting close and he'll be incredibly important to plug back into that like leadoff spot and everything. And so, with those two factored in, like, yeah, there's a lot of guys that have come up from the minors and they're doing their part right now, yada, yada, yada. And so maybe that offense would struggle in a postseason series. However, you get those two guys part of a lineup that's got Contreras and Abreu, and you're pretty good offense.
What was your reaction and the reaction around Boston of the Rutschman trade and what they gave up?
The Adley, you're saying the Russian trade. Yeah. So I thought that they gave up too much. Like I thought that they traded away 3 of their top 5 prospects, and 2 of them were top 100 prospects. My issue was that like I like fine, give up that, but maybe go after a shortstop. They don't really have a shortstop on this team. Like, Andrew Monasterio is playing there every day. If Trevor Story comes back, how is he going to be defensively after the sports hernia with his lateral movement and different things? And he strikes out a ton, as I said, and he just hasn't been what he was offensively last year, this year. And so if I was the GM, if I was Craig Breslow, I would have used those prospects on like a shortstop, like, C.J. Abrams or somebody like that. I probably wouldn't have gone after catcher. I wouldn't have chased like offense. Like, Rushman's a good hitter, right? But like his first 2 years, he was really good. He has regressed a little bit in the past 3 years. He still has a good on base percentage. He's not going to strike out as much. He's going to make contact. But I just feel like they could have gotten a better player. But when it comes down to it, he is a leader. He has elite defense. They have a elite pitching staff right now. So, that could factor in that, like getting him could, take them another level too, pitching wise.
Sure. Hey, Smitty, great spot. Hopefully you don't have a 9-hour baseball game. Get home at 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow.
Exactly.
So you can enjoy the weekend a little bit more. But they'll probably sweep the A's, and then here you go. They're going to be 4 back of the Rays maybe. Thank you, Christopher. We appreciate the time.
All right, thanks for having me.
Make sure you follow Christopher Smith on X. He is at Smitty on MLB, Red Sox reporter for MassLive. And
Anthony back, and the rehab assignment should start this weekend for Rushman.
Yeah.
What a story.
More good news there. By the way, for tonight, not that game as of right now, but...
Oh, you see this?
The other games in the Northeast.
All 3 games.
Yeah, delayed right now. So I would assume that might... I should have asked him while he's on the horn here, but I'm checking Kevin Roth, the meteorologist who tweets all this stuff out, if he actually says that Fenway might have a problem as well. But something obviously to consider there when you're looking at player props, specifically pitchers with like K props. Could be a thing like, they're going to get this game going, but in the 4th inning, you don't know what's going to happen. So then maybe look at unders in that aspect. But definitely this the Nationals, the Phillies, Yankees impacted by this so far. You going to go Trout 3 home runs? You find that anywhere tonight?
What is this, a soccer?
Birthday boy?
The World Cup? Yeah.
What's the same game parlay? We missed one yesterday, Pauly. PCA and Otani, or 2 days ago anyway.
I know someone going to the game tomorrow. So excited. Get to go to Yankee. Imagine if that's rained out. You finally get to go. You're in New York. You get to go to Yankee Stadium. Oh, sorry.
That would be a bummer. The one day that you can maybe make it out of your whole trip. No bueno. We'll see you next time. Did you add anything with the Red Sox, by the way, throughout this whole run?
No.
Nothing? Neither did I. Luke, did you? You're from there. You did not. Producer Luke did not.
If they can run them down, I don't think they will, but still. Trying to go 20. It's hard to believe only 3 teams have done 27. That's astonishing.
Well, the Guardians were 28
and
2?
Yeah. What was it? Was it 23 in a row, or whatever they did?
We'll get to our best bets with in-pocket plays coming up here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Was on coke if his girlfriend was knocked up.
These games are a burial, a blowout, a human lock. You can bet your children's children on these games.
I was so good that whenever I bet, I could change the odds for every bookmaker in the country.
Should be a track meet tomorrow. WNBA, Fever and Sky, over 192.5. Fever, number 1 offensive rating team, and number 1 points per game. Coming off a horrible loss in a bad second half at home against the Aces. And the Sky can score as well in their up-tempo. Guardians tonight, $1.30 with Messick. Last 5 starts, 1.57 ERA. Schultz for Chicago, 1-7 with ERA of 7. Last 9 starts, you want to throw it in there too. They got in early this morning after the crazy game at Fenway. And the Cardinals at home against Colorado. Feltner awful on the road. And Leahy's been good. St. Louis with a 1-2-1 in the last 7. Good luck tonight.
Go get him, Tiger. Bets that I have in pocket. Yeah, Valkyries plus 150. Plus 1.5 against the Wings tonight. As you mentioned, maybe the wrong team is favored. I know a couple of people here at the network believe that is the case. I just think they're a better basketball team overall as well. At best, should be a pick 'em. I'll take the 1.5. Added this morning, Indiana to win the Big Ten, plus 310. Added 2 guys this week defensively who were hurt at the end of last season. I wanted to bet this anyway, going through the guide, putting stuff together, getting ready for the season. It's still available. Other books have moved to plus 250. You give me that guy on a neutral against Ohio State or Oregon in the Big Ten title game, I'll take my chances. Tonight, maybe a little bit of a fishy number here, but this is a pro Padres, how they have been.
Yep.
5.5 runs per game. Sticks are heating up. Robbie Ray's been really good lately. And Blanco is going for the Astros, who's been a mess. I'm a little afraid of the number, but Padres minus 110 is in pocket. And completely piggybacking Doug Kezirian from earlier. We mentioned it first or second hour in the program as well. Last night was a look-ahead game for the Lynx. Should have identified that one. Not that I would have taken the points anyway, because the Sparks are not a great basketball team. Lynx are a machine. Now they bounce back at home tomorrow against the Aces off that kind of, I will say improbable comeback last night against the Fever. I'm going to go around the world as well. Lynx minus 1.5, even money first quarter. Lynx minus 2.5, minus 108 in the first half. Lynx 4.5 for the game. Have a great weekend.
Player props, Marte, 533 career against Gossman. Arise, 440 against Soriano. Otani and Muncy, 400 or better career against Kelly. Altuve, 550 against Ray. Career. Trout, the birthday boy, 5 bombs and 7 career games on his birthday. You want to play that as well. And Olsen, 429, last 6 games with 4 bombs. 6 preseason games Thursday. Book your trip to Vegas. Winner's Circle Proxy, VSiN's preferred proxy service. We're up to 17 Grandissimos and up to 7,000 in Circa Survivor. After your required in-person registration, they handle your weekly submissions. You can make your picks from anywhere. One trip to Vegas, play all season long. Schedule your appointment now, winnercircleproxy.com. Aaron Donald, 9-1 comeback player of the year at DraftKings.
Yep, and this is per Julian Edlow, who works there. He has taken more money at DK to win that award than any player over the last 24 hours. Down to 9-1. I can't get there. I just, what's this overall snap count and how much he's going to play compared to, especially, by the way, look at the top of the odds board.
Look at the candidates, too.
When you have Mahomes is plus 185, Jaden Daniels plus 450, Kyler Murray 6-1. I can't bet him. Can't do it. There is this, by the way. Andy Reid announced today that Mahomes is not going to go for week 1, preseason game number 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kirk Cousins and Max Crosby got into a scuffle today at practice.
He didn't hit him once. He hit him twice. And on the second time, he's like, what's wrong with you? And he got in his face and grabbed his face mask. And it's just, you don't touch the quarterback in practice. And he did it twice.
Yeah. Maybe Crosby's begging to get dealt. So he came up to Cousins.
Hit him twice.
Pelted him twice, and then
Cousins got in his face, grabbed his face mask. Donnybrook, yeah.
It's got to be
nice.
It's got to be a cry for help, isn't it?
Yeah. Cry for
right.
Yeah. That'll be an intriguing team this year. See how Kubiak does.
Well, I think
see when Mendoza comes in.
Yeah. Take my. I like the hire for them.
Yeah, sure.
Some of these other guys across the NFL. I mean, we have too much turnover, Pauly, at coach. Just too much. You're never going to have 10 guys. Hey, they're going to hit you next year upside the head because they're going to be great at what they do. Impossible.
John Harbaugh is 6-1 coach of the year. Wow.
What'd you think? We had Andy Molitor on the show earlier from the Deep Dive podcast. That angle is something I had not. It's great about how. What if Harbaugh is kind of like that guy where the voice, we thought it was like, okay, It's stale in the locker room. And the analogy was Pete Carroll. Okay, probably stayed a little bit too long in Seattle. Time to move on. He's not the guy anymore. Goes to What? Total disaster last year.
Yeah.
Now, this Giants team has more talent than the Raiders did last year, but maybe there's something to that. And maybe the Baltimore organization is just really good at signing free agents and drafting, and we don't know if he's a great head coach or not. And he just had an overwhelming amount of talent, and it popped with Lamar Jackson, and that's the reason why it worked. And it never worked, by the way. Well, they won that one Super Bowl now, 14 years ago? But they flopped a lot in the playoffs, man.
Yes, they did.
And last year was a dumpster fire. Totally, that coaching staff blew the game in week 1. And other games down the stretch by ignoring Derrick Henry overall.
Some of these odds are crazy. Kubiak, 15. Monken, 17. McCarthy, 18. How many games are these teams going to win? Stefanski, I can get behind 20. O'Connell, 20. Brady's got to win a ton of games at 20-1.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Jim at 20. The Charger.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more what this offense can look like with McDaniel and a big year for Herbert.
Now, I have cut back on my overall exposure in futures. I still love to bet them. Hell, JVT and I do a podcast called Pot of the Futures every week. We're betting them. But this is my lightest portfolio on August 7th of any season for awards that I can ever remember. I assumed I was going to have a bet on Detroit to win the Super Bowl and the NFC. I don't have that yet because the number, if you've noticed, it keeps drifting up. They're available now at some spots. I saw it 19-1 to win the Super Bowl. They were 16-1 at best when odds were first posted. I do have them win total over and to win the division. But in terms of awards, I got a handful. But it's like where you're talking about Coach of the Year. I don't like the board this year. Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I like a couple of guys.
Tough season.
I think, predicting that career year, I'm going to have shares if I'm in the right spot for fantasy. I can't. Who can bet Jahmyr Gibbs 6-1 Offensive Player of the Year?
Yep.
So they knew it's baked in, but it's also drifted out too much, I think.
What did you think of Collinsworth last night?
I did not listen enough, to be honest.
Really?
I've gotten really good at that, yeah.
We're all glad it's back, but boy, oh boy. Mike, I tell you, this guy Carson Beck, I mean,
he was
everybody's wanting to put him in a Hall of Fame.
First couple of second quarter pop big time. How was Mike Tomlin?
People liked him. People said no surprise. Everyone expected him to be good, and he was.
I would think if Mike Tomlin remains the soundbite, who we have.
Well, anything's upgrade over Dungy.
Oh, no question.
Yes,
Tomlin should be in theory awesome in this spot.
Yes. I think he'll be good. And you still got the clapper there, too. But Collinsworth was out of his mind.
That's what you get with the guy.
Look at this throw on the drive down to the 1 yard line. Leads the receiver so he doesn't get hit. Oh, what a throw by Beck.
By the way, developing situation here at Circa on the board behind us. 17 entries now into Grandissimo. Pretty good week, I'd say, with Bet Bash in town. And
on August 7th?
August 7th.
Yeah. See if they can get to 100.
I think, ended with 69 last year, which was very nice.
Maybe it hurts it, though, that people realized with 12 left, there was no way in hell there was going to be a chop. Who knows? We'll see.
The original Survivor, $1,000 a pop here. You can get 10 each. More than 7,000 in already. With a month to go, 7,000?
Strong.
Are we going to touch 25,000 this year?
You enjoy your vacation. And right. I know, speaking of Grandissimo, a guy who had a piece of the winning entry last year, loved my Baxter in studio Monday.
Oh, very good.
Boy, the pictures he sent in. He was a prison guard for 30 years. And the stuff that he had to have, and it was, at any point, he was up against it that they could rush him, and there was nothing he could do. He's outnumbered 80-2.
Be a fascinating conversation for sure. Don't go anywhere. VSiN Primetime next. Matt Youmans, Will Hill in studio on the show. Grant Mitchell, Best Bets College Football. Tomorrow, Tim Murray has your morning covered. VSiN Weekend Morning Line, 9 a.m. Eastern. Then at noon, it's Ready, Set, Bet with Matt Brown and Mike Somich. It's all right here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Crush it this weekend.